Tutorial, I'm going to show you how to trace an image digitally and create a positive negative image. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new document. So I'm in my I hit plus, and now I am just selecting my canvas size, which I'm going to keep at 1024 pixels at 768 pixels, and I'm going to hit blank and create. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to find an image I want to trace. And I've already kind of pre-did that. I went to Google and I just searched something random and went under the images. And I found this cool stop sign image that I really liked and I thought would be a simple image for me to trace for the first tutorial here. So first thing I want to do is I want to right click and copy image, and then I'm going to go back to Sketchpad and I'm going to go up to edit, paste image, and as you can see, the image that we picked out from Google has pasted into our canvas area. I'm going to zoom out and let you see. Now I'm going to go up to the layers palette and clip art. So clip art is our image. So anything that you copy or put into Sketchpad is going to be considered clip art. And you can do a lot of cool things with clip art. Today, though, I'm just going to show you how to change the opacity of an image. So I'm going to go over here to my clip art icon and click on it. And now you can see our different options here for clip art. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the opacity to be about halfway. Make sure that you have your clip art selected in the layers palette before you do this. And I'm just going to change the opacity. I'm going to do it about 40. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here to the stop sign. And I'm going to go over here to my pen tool. And I'm going to select lines for this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my fill color is negative, and by doing that you click on the drop icon right next to it, and when it has a line through it, that means it's no longer, you have no fill color selected. And I'm going to go over here to my outline color, and I'm going to change it to something a little brighter than the image that I'm tracing, so I think I'm going to stick with a purple. And let's see, outline purple. Okay, I'm all set. So what I'm going to go over here and do is I'm going to start tracing my image. So I'm just going to find the edges of my stop sign, and I'm going to trace it by clicking on the edges here to get my stop sign shape. There we go. So I got my first part done, and I'm going to trace some of the stop sign post too down here. So I'm going to use the same line tool, and I'm going to click on one edge of it and go down to where I want it, about there, up and over. And then if you could see this dark area too on the signpost, I'm gonna zoom in better. So it's got like a groove area down here, this area here. I'm going to trace that a little bit. I'm going to stick with my line tool and I'm going to trace it. Not all the way over, I just want a little bit. Go up. Connect. Okay. And now I'm gonna cheat a little bit. So like if you look at my image right here, I have all these little squares. So I'm going to go up here to my shape tool. I'm going to find my squares. And I'm going to exit out of the outline. I'm going to change the fill color. I'm going to use black. Okay, and I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and shift. It's going to create a nice little square for me. I'm going to take my selection tool and just move it over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to edit, copy, and paste. And I'm going to just match up my boxes from my images with the shapes. So I'm just going to keep pasting. Keep pasting the same shape. Let's not want to do it. You can always go over here too and just go to duplicate. You just click on these three little buttons and hit duplicate. And it'll make another shape for you. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Or if you guys want to get more advanced into this program, there are things called hotkeys, which they're keys on your keyboard that do basic operations really quickly. Usually it's like Control C to copy and Control V to paste. So I'm just gonna use my hotkeys now. But you don't have to use the hotkeys. They're just for if you want to get faster with this design program. Copy and paste though. The first way I showed you is also acceptable. It's just I got a lot of little boxes here, so I'm gonna go a little faster. Make sure all my area that I want covered is full. Almost done. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. And I'm gonna cheat again. So like I have the word stop up here for my stop sign. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my text tool here. And I'm going to find a font in my font library that looks like the really close font to the stop sign font. And I had gone in here previously and found Oswald right here works pretty well. So I'm just going to click on here and I'm just going to shift and write the word stop in here. So, didn't want to do that. Undo. Now that I have my word stop in the image, I'm going to find it in my layers palette and I'm going to click on it. I'm going to drag it up where I want it. And I'm going to make sure it's on. Kind of want to change it up a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. I click on it. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. So you can adjust your fonts too. If you want it a little shorter, smaller, bigger, you can always adjust your fonts. So that right there works pretty well. I'm going to keep it like that. Okay, now you can see all my objects that I created in here, my clip art, all that. What I'm going to do now that I have my image trace that I want to keep is I'm going to click the top part, hit shift, and go down to the line tool. And I'm going to go up here to the folder icon and click on it. And it's going to group all those objects that I traced and created. It's going to group it together, and I'm going to name it stop sign. Okay, now that I have my image trace, I don't want my image to be shown anymore. So I'm going to go over here to my layers palette, and I'm going to click this eyeball, and it automatically make my picture disappear. Now I'm gonna zoom out so I can see my canvas. So what I want to do now is I want to enlarge what I created. So I'm gonna go up here to make sure that I have my selection tool on, and then I'm clicked onto my grouped area. So I'm gonna select all my stop sign objects, and I'm gonna just click on one edge and hit shift and just slowly make it big enough to fit on my canvas. So I want to be a little big, so I can make up all the use all the space that I want to. I'm gonna move it over here, and you can move your image too once you traced it wherever you want on your canvas. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to start making it look like a positive and negative image. So I'm going to go into my background, click on background, and go background, there we go. Go to my fill color, and I'm going to select black for my background. And now I'm going to go into my stop sign folder, and I'm going to click on the first line tool that I created, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to cross out all my outlines, and I'm going to go into fill, and I'm going to select white, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go down to this area here, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to keep my outline, I think, and I'm just going to select white, and my fill color, so I'm also going to choose white. Now, if you could see it, this little area, it's got a little crack underneath the stop sign, so it didn't perfectly line up right, so that's okay. So I'm just going to move it upwards, and you don't see that little crack anymore. Go back into my layers palette, and I'm going to find that area that we drew out, and I'm going to cross out the line area outline and fill it with black. Okay, so now this is my quick tutorial on how to trace an image in Sketchpad. I picked a really simple image to trace. You guys can choose whatever you like for this project. All I want is to see that you picked something and you created a positive and negative space image. When you're finished, please upload to the assignment attachment. And when you're finished, you can also add some more details, and I'll show you that with my examples. So, enjoy.